viewers, and welcome to our first episode on Guest of the Week program on Voice TV. This is a program that will feature politicians, NGOs, and business philanthropists on national affairs. The Voice newspaper editor-in-chief, Mr. Musa Serif, will have an interview with Musumbala Nam, Mohamed Kante.
This is a special interview on the Voice newspaper. In our studio today, we have Mr. Kante. He's an independent candidate from Busumbara, an ex-police officer who has run. Now he's a lawmaker.
Obviously.
Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Mr.
First of all, the first question we want to pose to you is democracy working for the Gambia as an ex-police officer, on your own point of view?
Yeah, actually, to answer that, we have said, I would have said we have transitioned into a basic democracy, because compared to the time when I was in the active service, that was before the advance of 2016 election, the atmospheric situation, in terms of democratic credentials, this better. This time is better, in terms of viewing out your ideas to the public, fair hearing in terms of court, fair hearings. This atmosphere is better.
But when we take it this way on crime rate, is it still better?
Crime rate, no. Yeah, because we have more major crimes registered at the instance of police stations now than before. Because before, people are always been careful, because they have the belief that once you have committed a serious crime, you will not go scot-free. You will be punished. The police will go after you. You will be put before the court. Necessary trial will take place. And basically, the aftermath of all those processes is conviction. Sentence at mile 2, either with an alternative, in fact, for fines. Or both.
Looking at the economy where we are now, looking at the position of the debt that we are having, what is your take on this?
I think we are seeing an increase in terms of our debt situation. Like currently, we have about 139 billion debt that we need to service. That is very unfortunate. If you look at our national budget, estimate for this year, up 2026, is about 36 billion. So you can see today that, the difference is too huge, that our production cannot lead us to even, that what we have borrowed so far. So you will see today that, it can only cause the government to put more pressure on debt services, leaving essential, utilities to be taken care of, like in the sector, vital sectors like agriculture. You see today that our debt service, estimate supersede that of our agricultural production in terms of budget that has been taken to agriculture. The debt service, monies that has been plunged into debt service is more than our defense and security. Money that has been going for debt servicing is more than our educational, sectors. So you will see today that, that is way of deterring our development as a country, because we have so many debt that we need to service.
This is taking place on your watch. You as a lawmaker, you are there. It's because you are in minority, that's why you are allowing this to go, or what is the problem? Or is the failure of the lawmakers?
Actually, you will understand, Parliament is a democratic house. You have the majority camp and you have the minority camp. And in our situation, we are unfortunate as a Gambia. Today, the majority dominated the house. The minority are very few. So you will see to read that, in a democratic dispensation like situation like in the house, always show up of hands, the number that is required in terms of all these things is about is a simple majority. For instance, if government is in favor of the budget of the estimate budget of this, so it will go through, because at the end of the day, government parliamentarian in support of government are more than the those who are opposing. It's unfortunate. We all know this the number of debts that our country is incurring. We all know that the devastating effect, that is the negative effect that it has, the implication that it has in our economy. But we will still also go in for loans, because it is a government interest to make sure that they register certain development, and they cannot do that only GLF, that is the local funds that they generated, but at times they also take loans. Even whereas we believe as minority that the loans that we are incurring is too much, but at the end of the day they will have their way through because of the number that they have in the house.
Institutions are failing. For a common example, we look at Gamtel, Gamcel, as the first GSM operator in the country. They should be leading if things are on the right path. What do you have to say about that? Because Gamtel has failed.
Yeah, actually, I think that is a weakness of government policies, and Parliament as an institution. That's why we have a committee responsible for SOEs, and they have been working in hand in glove with the central government to make sure that these institutions can be vibrant and active, so that they can continue to register the development aspiration of Gambians. But it's unfortunate because if you look at the major failure of this institution, there used to be in Germany's time, there used to be this the gateway, so the privatization of the gateway also contributed to some of the failures of Gamtel, because Gamtel used to generate a lot of money out of that. It has an implication, we know, because our brothers who are in abroad also used to complain about the coal, situations, that negative coal situation it have in their this thing. It cost them, in terms of cost effective, but then if you see to read that, at that time Gamtel was vibrant because they were able to generate a lot of funds. At that point in time, in fact, we have seen Gamtel and Gamcel, very active in terms of supporting communities to realize their developmental agendas, in terms of even sponsoring individuals, Gambian citizens to pursue their education in tertiary institutions. All those programs were able to come into attendance because of they were very vibrant at that time, but because they were also able to generate funds. But now that those that one has gone into privatization, they were unable to make sufficient money, and it's unfortunate. I'm not part of that committee, but then I learned that some of the workforce members of the workforce were laid off because of their own ability to pay salaries to some of the. That's very unfortunate.
Now we turn to politics.
Yeah.
We have only 1 month for politics to come in the Gambia.
Yeah.
We have movement. We have a lot of political parties.
Yeah.
And when we go to the poll 2026 December, the vote that are going to cast their vote, it will not be 1 million. All this, most of politics political party movement. What do you have to say about that?
Yeah, I believe it is a constitutional right for every individual, to partake with a full age and capacity to partake in the election, the political atmosphere of the country. Now, having said that, we knew that there are a lot of political movement, coming up. There are a lot of political parties being registered, all in all have an intention, to run for presidency or to, make a coalition with other existing political parties so that they can boost their, viability of securing the required number of votes to be president of this country. We believe is their right, and for me, I don't like condemning anybody who have the, who have the belief that you have the capacity, the prerequisite knowledge and skill to propel this country or to head this country for the betterment of Gambians. But then I have also realized, within the field, there are certain movements and groups who are just trying to throw their weight in so that, they can make a coalition or they can be recognized by the ruling party, or so that they can secure some, job opportunities for themselves and their associates, But having said that, I think it's normal, and for Gambians who possess the age and the capacity, and they have the belief that, they have a better policies, and programs to move this country forward, can offer themselves.
Okay, we look at the fishery sector. When you look at the fishery sector of this country,
yeah,
we have ship fishing trader in the sea that are using Gambia flag fishing in our water, and most of the fishing sectors in Tangier and other areas are affected. Is this at the knowledge of the parliament?
Indeed, you have to for parliament to make concrete and effective laws, but it's another thing for the executive to implement, to enforce those laws. We are not sort of laws that can regulate our fishing activities in this country. We are not sort of laws. We have laws that can address those abnormalities, but the implementation, which is basically lies, on the executive branch. The enforcement of those laws are on the purview of the Inspector General of Police, and the fishery ministry should be able to address that. They can collaborate even with the navies, Gambian navies, to address such abnormalities that are happening in our waterways in respect to fishing activities that are happening in this country. It's unfortunate today when you go to Tangier, you will realize that our women's mothers, sisters who are, vibrant in that domain are crying, because their stories are always the same, that, then we used to have sufficient, now we have shortage. And the reason we have shortage is about these international, traders that have been given lancing, and some did not, some are without lancing, in fact, because there are instances where the Navy will capture certain fishing trawlers and boats, but then even the fine that they will, the fine that they will place on those things, they will tell you. The audit report have, some queries on that. Half will be paid, half will not be paid, and where are the vessels? They have gone with their owners. So you will see there are a lot of things that need to be addressed. We are aware of this as Parliament, and we voice it out when necessary. But then the implementation lies at the executive. I think they need to be proactive in order to address some of these issues.
The president was on the nationwide tour. I think the tour is still going on. But when he get to your constituency, he personally attack you, saying that he should vote you out before the delegate come. So if you are in, development cannot come. So how do you analyze that statement? How do you digest it?
For me, to be honest, I see it as lack of awareness in the part of the president, because the president ought to know that parliamentarian has a function, and their primary function is lawmaking and representation. And in that very moment, I was no other way than in the parliament representing my people to look into the budget for better allocations so that the development aspirations that he has been frustrated and voicing can be addressed, by factoring it on the budget that will be used to implement those things. To be honest, I don't like personal attack, and I have not ever experienced a political actor stand on a political platform to attack me personally. It started with President Barrow, but then, I will not respond in that manner. He's our brother, he's our chief political figure in this country. We respect him, but then that's why I would just say it's unfortunate, but then let him redirect his energy on the development of Gambians and Gambian and residents of Gambians in this country in terms of addressing all challenges that Gambians and non-Gambians residing in Gambia are facing, because his primary responsibility is the chief overseer of all Gambians and non-Gambians within this country. My people are proud of me, and they will continue voting for me as long as I stood. I offer myself to be a parliamentarian because I registered, to be honest, a lot of developments within my tenure, during this tenure as a parliamentarian. I'm the parliamentarian that let my peoples know that it started with me, that there is a development, there is a fund in the parliament called Constituency Development Fund. Even yesterday I gave them the issue, distributed 40 poles with lights. We put it on the highway just day before yesterday, through that fund. But beyond that fund, in fact, I was able to dig 5 boreholes within my constituency, no associated with constituency development fund. Several mosques, every village in my constituency, about 12 villages, all benefited hugely my cement project for the establishment, for the development of their churches, their mosques, their schools, and even healthcare services, that's hospitals.
You as a legal man, how do you really see our legal system? Is it progressing or is it doing well? Because yesterday, when they were calling to buy, the Chief Justice said that, we are short of lawyers in this country. What do you have to say?
Anyway, when I used to be a police prosecutor, that is 10 to 15 years ago, there were few lawyers, Gambian lawyers that are practiced in our legal system. I think those days we could have said we are sort of lawyers, but now I can say there have been a mass production of lawyers, in our that's 2015, 2016 when I was doing my BL. I think it's about 50 something of us, even though we have some international students, and subsequent badges from 2015, 2016 up to date. Every year, the law school is producing lawyers, and those lawyers have gone through a competent training test, so they would be effective in areas. Law is broad. They will be effective either in, civil litigation, criminal litigation, advocacy, and other areas of related law concerns. you know. So for me, it's about how do you utilize your manpower, you know, effectively address some of the challenges that are happening, you know, that will come into the way of take home. You know, there are salaries like the magistrates, you know, the the judicial officers. You know, that's why last time the bill was at the house, and there was a sufficient consultation with the community members, stakeholders, to make sure that we address some of those things. Because also, if you want to retain people in the legal service, at least they should be able to have a sufficient or better take home so that they can also, you know, feed their families. But I believe the Chief Justice should they should make sure that, you know, they look into, you know, the management of their manpowers, the legal sector, so that, you know, they can effectively manage the number of lawyers that they have produced, and look at the areas that are lacking so that, you know, they can train other lawyers on that, so that those fields can be better, you know, taken care of.
I know I have taken most of your time, but I'll get this final question for you.
Yeah.
As a young man, Gambia has failed in many areas, especially in the area of sport. We cannot host our own football match. Our boys are playing out. They are coming in. And we can't go and cheer our boys. What do you take on the failure of the rehabilitation of the stadium for almost 2 years now? And a lot of money has been put in. There's no push from Parliament.
Yeah, I think there is so many push from Parliament. Even yesterday we had a question for minister's reply. We were asking the minister about some
question.
Yeah.
Are they supplementary?
No, these are minister's reply. You know, in every audit findings, there will be queries, and these queries, the Parliament will come up with, you know, will send it to the executive so that they can respond to those queries. And amongst those queries is exactly what you are asking, you know, about the delay of stadium rehabilitation, and also subsequent sub-stadiums that are within other part of the country. Why are they not finished? You know, so these are the questions yesterday. You know, we were asking the sport minister, and they give us responses. Like the stadium here now, the problem is, what we understand, what they have told us is like, you know, the FIFA came here in 2 occasions. People are saying 3, but he said 2. The first one, they just invited them, you know, so that they can tell them what to do. And the second one was they make some recommendation as to the adjustment of the pavement and other, you know, logistics there. And the third one was about the grass that they normally put. So he said they are on that level now. All other requirement has been met. Now it's about the grassing that they are about to address, and also the road linking to stadium must be should be at standard, you know. So I myself can attest to that. I pass by and I see, you know, they are working on those roads. You know, other part of the countries, you know, like the Flabantan one, it has been an issue. Land that I remember vividly posing a question on that. That was last year, you know, why it is still at halt. You know, the contractor that was involved then was not going there to make some progress, you know. But we realized out of his response yesterday, there is another deploy there so that the work can start, you know. Likewise, the other stadiums in Biam and Janjambure, you know, he specifically mentioned Boyo Field football, that Boyo Field that has already been completed. Yeah. So we still boil down to the same thing, you know. It's like the the parliament may create a conducive environment, but the implementation lies on the executive. The only mechanism that we had is to make sure that we follow it up, through these supplementary questions, parliamentary inquiries, and so on. Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
And we hope to see you again next time.
Thank you. I'm grateful.
Yeah, thank you.